who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me?
Talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
Are growing out, and the only way the roots grow out every single day and they grow stronger and they grow better is if that we all water.
What? Well, I'm out, man.
What's going on Monday nights? We wear orange, apparently. This was not color coordinated, but I think we're both becoming Bengals fans. So that's why I put mine on. I don't know about you. Welcome to a brand new Chip and Drip Monday night here on the AAT Sports Network. I am Chip, joined by JD from the D Drippy Network. What is going on, my friend? How you been? Yes, you. I thought there was a you.
No, this is Twisted Tea. I gotta medicate heavily at this point.
I would go with the Yoo-hoo though, like no joke.
I'm lactose, so that would be a really short show for us.
So it's been 2 weeks because we were not able to go last week because my house turned into an ice skating rink. That was fun. How you been?
Well, compared to you, I'm doing pretty damn good. So.
Yeah, this is a new corner of my house that no one has seen. This is the kitchen or the dining room. I'm looking at where I used to podcast from, and I have no floors right now. So away we go. It's all good times.
Tough, man. That's kind of like the problem with being up north is you got to worry about pipes bursting and freezing over and your heat going out in the middle of like negative weather. It's a bunch of shit when being up here. Like I never had to deal with this when I was down south.
It's the worst. And I don't know who is commenting from the Facebook group, but yes, it is couple goals. This was not planned. I promised you this was not planned, but it is my new favorite thing.
I'm not gonna lie. When I got on here, I've been wearing this Rugrats hoodie with Gym Rat hoodie, even though it's an oxymoron because I am not a gym rat. So I'm excited about this.
That we're both wearing orange?
No. I'm wearing this Gym Rat shirt.
Oh, okay. Real quick, let's just pay the bills right quick so we can do all the good stuff. So AAT Sports Network and the AAT Birds are sponsored by Statement Games, a fun free twist on fantasy sports. There is a link in the bio. Check it out. The AATSportsNetwork.com/shop. Buy all the great merch. We are, of course, sponsored by Symbol, the stock market for sports. Symbol.com. Use promo code AAT Sports when you sign up. La Terrain Luxury Watches. Use the code AAT Sports, AAT Birds at checkout for 10% off. Funkbrewing.com. And of course, Manscaped is partnered with AAT Birds. Use the code AAT Birds for 20% off and free shipping at checkout.
Your balls. Well, thank you.
Did you hear my gunshot?
I did. I heard the gunshot.
Your balls. Well, thank you.
And there'll be a new commercial at the end of the show, which I recorded and finished about 15 minutes ago. Don't forget, comments on Twitter are still not working. Allegedly, it's going to get fixed. It ain't. So make sure you're watching on Facebook and or YouTube to get your comments in. Yes, and Adam, on Mondays we were orange. On Wednesdays we were blue. Or Thursdays, whenever I did your show. Tuesdays, I don't know. It was the day of the week that ended in Y. So we got some stuff to talk about. It's been 2 weeks. In the last 2 weeks, both of our football teams got knocked out of the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. Well, mine was to be expected.
So was ours.
Oh, no. I had a lot of moxie for the Eagles this year. I've now given up my fandom of the Eagles. It was short-lived, but I am done with you guys 100%.
But why? Let me ask you that. Why?
It's not the players. It's actually the fan base.
It's the fan base. Okay, I hear you.
Yeah, I'm done with the fan base. Can I be frank?
I thought you were JD.
What gives the Philadelphia Eagles fan base the right to always assume that they deserve more? Like, I just don't understand it. It's a typical.
I know.
I'm done. Like, I'm done. Like, I'm not coming back, Matt. I'm gonna be honest with you. I am never pulling for you guys again. I'll write for the Eagles and all that stuff, but I am never pulling for them again. The fan base doesn't deserve the damn win. They just don't. They boo everybody. Everybody gets their ass to kiss. So I'm giving them my ass to kiss. I will never pull for you guys again. I'm done. I'm out of here.
So, all right. So, like, here's my thing.
Nope.
I'm just going to say my thing. We exceeded expectations this year. The Eagles exceeded expectations this year, which was great. We got to the playoffs, and what we did is we went against a Tom Brady-led team, and we had a terrible game plan, an absolutely awful game plan. And enough people had talked trash and said things that Tom Brady went and did the things that Tom Brady does. We didn't have any ability to move the football. Jalen Hurts did not have a good game. Nick Sirianni did not have a good game. The defense did not have a good game. Devontae Smith didn't touch the ball until the second half. So, yeah, the game went exactly how it was expected. And as Matt is also saying, it was the same as happened week 7, except week 7, we closed that gap a little bit and made it seem like we were in the game the whole time, when if you watch the game, you know we weren't. So with all that being said, now you're moving into the offseason. And this Eagles fan base is starting its own civil war. And this is where I know you have some thoughts and feelings. There are people who are ready to give up on Jalen Hurts already.
Oh yeah, they never went on the.
They were never in his corner. There are people who are already saying, no. He has the same numbers as. And then they say Lamar Jackson in his first couple starts, or the same numbers as Donovan in his first couple starts, or the same numbers as Josh Allen in his first couple starts. You just have to ride with him. And people are like, no. He should be great already. And that to me is the biggest problem. The Philadelphia Eagles fan base has no tolerance for development.
And I know, and you know why you know what's crazy? This is gonna hurt some fans. This is gonna hurt some people's feelings, and I'm gonna say it.
Do it.
If you give up on the development of your team, I never want to hear anything about the process of any type of sort from anybody in Philly. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear the process, because this is a process in its rare form. You got a quarterback that needs to develop. He's trying every game. He's not giving up. He's taking your shit. He's eating shit every game from a fan base who really haven't won anything. Like the Eagles fan base acts as if they have multiple championships. You don't. You've even had a quarterback who threw up at the ship. And he's the best quarterback in history for your franchise.
He's the best quarterback in Eagles history, flat out.
And he choked in the biggest moment of his career. And the messed up part about it is that is the highest peak. But yet the guy that you just brought in has done more for your franchise than the guy that you guys swore you were going to ride for like 6 years and who still hasn't played in the damn playoff game. I don't understand the narrative. Like, someone make it make sense. Somebody in the comments, make that make sense to me. The kid has numbers like Josh Allen in the first 1.5 years that he started. And
but Josh Allen has a bigger arm. You cannot compare the two.
Right. And I don't even care about the arm stuff. It's the other stuff. Josh Allen didn't learn how to lead a team till like 3 or 4 years ago. Maybe 2 years ago. This guy's already leading a team. Yeah, he doesn't have some of the intangibles like arm strength, but he can learn how to read defenses. That's something he can do.
He can. And Adam's saying here, look, if you give up on Hurts, the new quarterback will walk into the same bad situation, invest in a quarterback for once. And here's the thing that kills me the most is I don't want Aaron Rodgers in our locker room. We're not a quarterback away. I don't want, Johnny killed me today. He's like, I'm going to post a picture of Tom Brady in an Eagles uniform. I don't want Tom Brady in Philadelphia. I don't want Russell Wilson. Like, all these guys are cool and all, but we're not a quarterback away. We are a lot of
things away.
We're a second wide receiver. We're offensive lineman. We're a tight end. We're a defense. We're a linebacker. We're another corner. We're a punter. We're a lot of things away, which we now have this draft capital where we can develop players. We can develop players in a draft. Why give up everything for a quarterback? And this is one of the main things I wanted to talk to you about tonight. Okay. Because as an Eagles fan, you're watching these games this weekend. And by the way, this was by far, and I don't know how you felt, the greatest weekend of football I have ever seen.
This was a really, I don't know a week that was, I can probably guess a week that was better, but like it was better for me personally because my team won it. So that might be why I'm kind of like because it was like the 2008 year for football for me. But that's because the Steelers won the championship that year.
Right. But what I'm saying is overall, the NFL as a whole this weekend.
Oh, most competitive. Yes, for sure.
It was the greatest weekend of football I've ever seen. I could say the same thing. Like, the Eagles, the greatest week of football for me was when they won the Super Bowl. I could say the greatest week of football is when they spanked the Vikings 38-7 to get to the Super Bowl.
Well,
as the
NFL in that year too, like the Eagles had a really tough road because the game they played against Chicago, that was a really good game. Like, and the dude missed the kicks. Like, you don't get too much better than that. Like, as far as drama.
No, the following year after they won the Super Bowl, the double doink, yeah. Again, another season where they didn't have the right thing. But so here's my frustration. Like watching the games on Saturday, just Saturday alone, right? So you have a game where Joe Burrow single-handedly leads his team to a victory. He got sacked 9 times.
Yes.
Right? He got sacked 9 times. There was no reason why that Bengals team should have still been in that game, but for the fact that Joe Burrow played great. Okay? So if you're an Eagles fan and you're doing, well, see, you need an elite quarterback. You need an elite quarterback. Great. Okay. And Don, this is the point that I'm getting to, right? After seeing the off-the-charts quarterback playing the games this weekend, do you think Hurts could ever get to that level? So here's my point, right?
Keep that one.
Joe Burrow played at that level this weekend, led his team to a victory. Jimmy Garoppolo played like absolute dog crap Saturday night. Played like absolute dog crap on Saturday night and beat arguably one of the top 5 quarterbacks of all time. You didn't need excellent quarterback play. Then you go to the next 2. Stafford versus Brady, you were going to get great quarterback play, and you got it. Mahomes versus Allen, you got it. But Saturday alone, you showed that you could win games without great quarterback play. So my question comes in. It's the same thing that Don asked. I know you want to get to it. Do you think Hurts can ever get to that level? I don't think he's ever going to get to that level of play. I just don't. Because when you're looking at him as a whole, it's the arm strength. It's the arm strength and the accuracy, which his entire career has been a problem. That's not asking, can the Eagles not win with Jalen Hurts as the quarterback? Because I think they can. So
this is a lot to unpack. So you kind of
a lot to unpack.
You gave me an alley-oop right here, though. So I will give you that. Thank you for that. The alley-oop for me is the fact that you said, can you win with Jalen Hurts playing that way? Jalen Hurts overthrows guys too. Like he's not like he's always underthrowing people.
He doesn't throw them open.
No, he doesn't throw them open, but he can overthrow you. So like the whole thought process that the guy doesn't have an arm is actually kind of asinine. The dude overthrows guys all the time. So it's not even like he lacks accuracy sometimes. He cannot read a defense on a constant basis, and he gets confused very easily with them doing small, minute things. When it comes to his throwing mechanics, because I did play quarterback for a little while, he can't get his hips turned around the way he's supposed to. On the run, he can't get his hips squared, so he's always going to be short because he's not throwing the ball like a baseball player like Patrick Mahomes. When you throw him from your side, you notice us playing baseball, you got more power if you throw sideways. If you're having to throw up and over a defender or you got to turn your hips, he's losing power every time he tries to do that. So when he rolls out to his right, he's got to throw against the grain of his body.
Right.
So a lot of people don't really get that. Like you got to throw against the grain. So all these keyboard warriors and people who are sitting at their house, like they need to go on Jenny Craig like I do. Like we can't say these negative things about these guys because none of us can throw that. Of course, we're not getting paid millions of dollars, but at the same time, if I came to your job and told you you're doing a terrible job, I'm pretty sure not 30,000 other people would say the same shit about your job being shitty.
Right.
Like you make a messed up burger at McDonald's, nobody's coming back to say, hey, by the way, you should get fired for making a shitty burger. Like that's not how it works. You get better. We got to give Jalen Hurts a chance to get better.
And all season, he got better. It just so happened that in the playoff game, everything didn't go. It was a bad game plan by Nick Sirianni against a very good And Jonathan Gannon. Jonathan Gannon, who's going to get hired as probably the Texans head coach.
Please, I will drive him there for you guys. Can I drive him for you?
Please, because I'll take Vic Fangio in a second as our new defensive coordinator.
Listen, I will drive that dude. Like there's nothing more frustrating as a non-Eagles fan pulling for the Eagles than to watch their defense play football. It was like, let's give Brady 15 yards every play and to see if he'll like make a mistake. He's not going to. You're playing 15.
Is Brady's MO been his entire career? You hit him in the mouth. You hit him in the mouth. He has a bad game. The Rams literally hit him in the mouth. Everyone's showing the busted lip. Look at my lips all busted. I'm Tom Brady. He looked old as hell, by the way. And that was after like he took his helmet off. He looked old as hell. Now they're talking like serious retirement stuff. I'm fine with it. I understand the frustration when it comes to Jalen Hurts. You know, I do. I get it because you want your quarterback to play on that Joe Burrow, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes level, Josh Allen level. You want him to play that way. I get it. He might not ever be that guy. And then that situation in a couple years, yeah, you make that change. But again, this is not a Super Bowl caliber team. You cannot look at the other teams that were in the playoffs this weekend and say that the Eagles were on their same level. They just aren't.
No, and the less of it is an indictment on Jalen Hurts because, for one, we're underplaying what Joe Burrow is doing. Like it's like he never stopped from college. It's like he won it. It's like his national championship just kept going. And it didn't matter and it has nothing to do with Jamar Chase because everybody's like, oh, he's playing with Jamar Chase. It has nothing to do with Jamar Chase because he was doing that before they even drafted him until he got hurt. So honestly, to be completely honest with you, somebody made the analogy of calling Joe Burrow the next Andrew Luck if they don't get him like an offensive line.
I see that as a true.
Okay, and I'm saying that, but I don't think I ever saw Andrew Luck in his first full year, get to the AFC Championship.
Nope. Andrew Luck was anointed out of college as the next Peyton Manning.
Yeah, I mean, right. And don't get me wrong, arm talent out of the world. Joe Burrow he looks like Macaulay Culkin, but he's actually Marv. Because he like has that like I'm a Marv, but I'm wearing like a fur jacket type joint. Like he reminds me so much of like a Joe DiMaggio. Like I feel like he would come in there with like a fur jacket on, ready to do business, and you can do nothing to stop him. And he's like the babyface assassin. Like the kid he's special. And I didn't want to say it because he played for LSU and they beat the shit out of us in the national championship. And I've been mad ever since. But at this point, I have to come to the realization that now the Cincinnati Bengals are the king of the AFC North. And until further notice, they are going to be because they have so much young talent.
AFC right now is loaded. Absolutely loaded with some serious teams. And the NFC, like, I don't know. It's going to be tough. The Super Bowl, which I truly do believe is going to be the Rams versus the Chiefs, but it could be, it's going to be a good Super Bowl no matter what, I do feel, as long as the 49ers don't steal away in.
Listen, why are you upset? Let's keep throwing the comments up because they got some really good comments.
I know. So Matt said, Saturday showed you need defense in the playoffs. Javier still, he's frustrated with Jalen Hurts. He's been frustrated with Jalen Hurts. I don't see it. Burrow with our O-line would be scary. I agree. Hurt, but not our receiving core. That's the key. Hurts got our O-line, but doesn't use it to his advantage. Johnny's saying, look, there's plenty of Super Bowls with good defenses and bad offenses, and bad defenses and good offenses and mediocre on both sides. That's true. But the overwhelming majority of Super Bowl winning quarterbacks are franchise quarterbacks. Yeah, you can name maybe 5 or 6 who are like, they won a Super Bowl, but that was all that they did.
Joe Flacco,
Trent Dilfer, Nick Foles.
Yep.
There's 3 off the top of my head. Then you go back. Then you can go back even further. I mean, Brad Johnson.
Wasn't he the Buccaneers too?
Yeah. Whoever won the Super Bowl with the Bears?
The Bears.
No, they didn't win the Super Bowl. They lost to the Colts.
They lost. I mean,
they got there because of their defense.
I mean, everybody else is. You're right. Everybody else is I guess you would call a franchise quarterback. But a franchise quarterback. I mean, look at the Eagles in general. Like, if you just want to go just to the Eagles, like the Eagles have had a couple quarterbacks that are notable. Like you've had Randall Cunningham, you got Donovan McNabb, you got Michael Vick, Carson Wentz, and then like you got Jalen Hurts now. Like out of those quarterbacks,
it's very possible. It's very possible that Jalen Hurts is a stopgap to the next guy, but you still have to let him see if he is the guy. You know what I mean? Like, you have to give him a chance. He developed. It's his job right now. It's his job right now. And yes, they could go. How dare you, sir? Kevin Cobb does not make my list. You stop it. You stop it right now. You got to give Jalen Hurts this chance. Now, you look at the draft. There's not a lot of great quarterbacks in this draft. Now, next season, after he's had another season, if they have a total drop off, then you draft a quarterback.
You'll be able to tell what the Eagles are thinking based on how they draft and how they trade these picks.
100%.
Because if they trade the pick for another first round pick the next year, then that means they expect. It's just like it's an insurance policy. Like Jalen Hurts was an insurance policy for Carson Wentz.
Adam, this is the comment already of the night. Hurts has done nothing to lose the job. One bad game does not lose him the job. Now, he's done nothing to secure it long term.
But he gives you another. He does, like they said,
he gets one more
year.
If you're going to give guys like J.J. Arcega-Whiteside and Jalen Reagor all these multiple years, Henry Ruggs finished with more receiving yards than Jalen Reagor did, and Henry Ruggs spent half the season in prison.
I mean, I'm going to be real about this whole thing. The way that the media in Philly really works and the fan base works but it's kind of like it's whatever we can throw at you. It's like in the stands, like whatever I can find to throw at you, we're going to throw at you. Your good games, I'm not going to tell you good job, and in your bad games, I'm going to crucify you. So
I don't agree with that. Like when Jalen Reagor returned that one punt 38 yards, we were all supportive of him. We cheered and we clapped and we were all for him. When you do your job, it's one thing. But even in that game in the playoffs, he should not have been back there returning punts, and he blew it again.
Okay. So
Jalen Reagor cannot be a member of the Philadelphia Eagles next season for his own sanity.
Listen, and it's not even that. You guys let Aguilar stay here after. Well, he got traded, but he was here.
He shouldn't have been here that long either.
There's just guys that listen. If you guys look at all these players that can't play here, is the issue the player or is the issue of you guys? Like, because
100%, 100%. But look, we do talk about the fact that you need to have some sort of mental fortitude. You got to have some sort of mental fortitude to play here. It's a tough town.
And the guy that's playing here and taking it, you guys want him out. I'm just saying, like the guy that you guys throw everything except for the kitchen sink at. Tell him he can't do this, he can't do that. He responds every week. He comes back. He tells you he needs to be better. He apologizes to your asses as if you deserve an apology.
But there's always another excuse. There's always another excuse like, oh, well, look at the quarterbacks he played against. Or, oh, he only won against these teams. Or, oh, he won against. A win is a win. A loss is a loss. Give the guy a chance. He got us to the playoffs.
Randall was overrated?
Johnny said Randall was overrated. I have his jersey. He was my favorite player growing up, but he was overrated.
Overrated? You got to explain. Make that make sense, Johnny. Make that make sense, brother.
Adam saying
Randall Cunningham was overrated.
He had an incredible arm. He was super athletic. That injury, though, wrecked his career. Now, I think he could have been a Hall of Famer if he never had that injury. But that injury changed his. He played with Chris Carter.
Right, but when he played here.
With Chris Carter.
In Philly?
Chris Carter used to be an Eagle.
This before the Vikings. Had to be.
It was.
Oh, so you had a young Chris Carter.
Yeah, Chris Carter and Mike Quick.
You know how to do this on the pregame?
Randall is that old.
That dude. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. When you talk about quarterbacks first, triple threat quarterback, he's like the first one to come to mind.
Right, for sure. He totally was a groundbreaker. And then, my guy, and it's going to tie into you. One of my favorite players growing up, talking about triple threats, Cordell Stewart.
My boy Cordell.
Literal slash.
Never won shit.
Never won diddly squat. All right. So we know the Eagles are having a rough time. I'm going to put up something, and I'm probably going to hit this up a couple more times this week. So I've been bookmarking stuff for the last 2 weeks on the social media. You haven't seen any of these things. Sure? I mean, let me phrase that. I haven't shared any of these things with you.
Okay, cool. You just want my reaction.
All right, so here's the first thing. Here is the upcoming free agents for the Eagles this offseason.
Who am I keeping? Who am I letting go?
Yeah.
Ooh, this is going to be fun.
So
Barnett,
who are you keeping? Who are you letting go? So we'll go from the bottom to the top, right? Nate Herbig, you keep.
Yeah,
you need offensive line depth. He played great this season. You keep him.
Yep.
Jannard Avery, I think you keep.
You got Sweat coming back next year, so nah.
Yeah, Sweat coming back, but you got Brandon Graham coming on an injury, and you don't know what's going to happen with Derek Barnett. I think you keep Jannard Avery.
Listen, I'm getting rid of Avery and Barnett. He's a trash can.
Barnett's gone. Yeah, we're not up there yet. Jason Kroom, you can get rid of. He's nothing. Greg Ward. Okay, this is an interesting one. Greg Ward.
So Greg Ward, I think we talked about him another time about something like this. And Greg Ward, there's really no real spot for him on this team. I mean, if you let go of J-Jaw, then definitely he could take his spot for sure. Why not?
I think Greg Ward's done enough to earn himself a 1-year deal. He's a restricted free agent. I don't think anyone's going to put in an offer for him. Fine. Singleton, you got to. Yeah, Singleton, you got to keep until we find another linebacker, at least on special teams. Javier saying Ward, you don't need him. I think with the turnover in the offensive line in the wide receiver room that you're about to say, you need him.
And I don't even say that. Like sometimes you just got veterans on the team that have just been loyal to the team. Like they bring guys back all the time to retire here. If Greg Ward stays one more year, he'll probably retire. Just let him retire here. What's the big deal? Like he's not going to hurt you being on the team. Like he even caught a touchdown this year. The hell are you guys talking about? You had Boston
Scott. Boston Scott, you're keeping at this point.
Yeah, unless you get something better in like the draft and like the late rounds. Yeah. Could mean you still got Kenny Gainwell. You got
you're probably gonna not have Jordan Howard, although he earned himself at least another year, I think. You have him for two. You earned him for
Jordan
two.
Howard, well, Jordan Howard is not on this list, so clearly he's not up for.
He's not.
He's not up, so he's gonna be here.
Ridgeway can go. Kerrigan never showed up. Steven Nelson can go.
Please send him back on whatever. That's why we gave him to y'all.
Barnett gone. Anthony Harris, I say gone. I don't think he played well enough. McLeod, I would keep. He's a captain. You got to keep him at least. And Kelsey, you got to pray that he comes back.
Okay. So there's a lot to unpack right here. So this Derek Barnett guy, this dude, Steven Nelson, Kroom, Avery, Singleton, they all can get on the same Amtrak, and I'll pay for them to go wherever they want to go on Amtrak. Because Drippy is low maintenance out here. But these guys, I'll drive them to whatever airport they want to go to. I'll be their Uber driver. I'll help them pack. Hell, I'll send them 5 guys out to help them pack. They need to get the hell out of town.
Yeah,
they got to go. Look at these comments around here. We got some good ones.
Yeah. Johnny's saying, Kelsey, Singleton, and Herbig are the only ones. And I agree that those 3 are definite comebacks, but you have to remember you still have to field 53 guys, and you want some guys with consistency.
Why do you want to keep Singleton?
Why do you want to keep Singleton? Special teams linebacking play. And until you have a solid defensive linebacking core, he's a good for at least mop-up roles like he was when TJ Edwards got hurt.
I'll buy it for a quarter.
I'll keep him, but you're not paying the man.
Nope, I got him. Nope, I'm messing up. I got Singleton and Kerrigan mixed up. Kerrigan's got to go.
Kerrigan's gone. I won't. Even though Javier's saying, he played lights out last game. Yes, woohoo.
No, Kerrigan's done. Like he's done.
Javier's saying, keep Ward, kick J-Jaw the F out. I agree. Bye.
You could probably keep Greg Ward and get rid of Rager and J-Jaw, and you'd probably be all right.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Why you have to keep Ward, because you're going to have a huge turnover in the wide receiver room with J-Jaw getting the bump. With Rager, he's not going to be on this team next year. You got to keep at least somebody there to play this position.
So hold on one second. I'm going to bring this up real quick because it's something that I read. Somebody a very smart person that I trust made the comment, and I think I I rebutted with something like, why not just play Goddard at receiver and the new kid Tyree Jackson at tight end, or just run 2 tight ends? They both
We
are
ran
athletic.
3 tight ends most of the season.
Right, but this guy Johnson, and against the Cowboys, I got to see this guy really play. Like, I hadn't really seen him play all season. The kid's big. He's like 6'8" or something.
Yeah, and he's a former quarterback. That kills me.
The dude can play multiple positions. Why not play him and play Goddard at the same time? Goddard's got to work on his hands because he drops a lot of balls, but that's to be expected. So, I mean, listen, this team is actually a lot better than people think on paper because you still got Watkins, and Watkins can straight out fly.
On paper, but it didn't really deliver this season. That's my issue.
But the thing with them, Chip, is that they're all like really young, like
very young.
They're all really young. Like, the only other team that has younger receivers than them is the damn Bengals. They just happen to be 2 number 1s.
And that's why you look at this roster and you go, you got to keep some of these older guys. You got to keep a guy like Greg Ward because there are so many young guys. You got to keep a guy like a Rodney McLeod because there are so many young guys. You got to keep a guy like Singleton because there are so many young guys. Boston Scott because there are so many young guys. You got to pray that Jason Kelsey will come back for one more season. Adam saying you find a much better player in the first round for Barnett.
Yeah.
We don't know anything about Kelsey being back. We also haven't heard anything about Kelsey retiring. We just know that Sirianni sent him some booze. Don't we have 11 picks? Yes, but remember, not every single pick is going to pan out.
Right.
You can't just say, okay, 53, we get rid of these 11, we're going to add 11, and we're going to be good. You know, Hightower barely saw the field this year. He was a pick from 2 seasons ago.
Well, Hightower actually has showed some promise, though. I mean, he wasn't, I don't think when he was first drafted, he was ready. But there's a lot of,
and with no development, absolutely not.
There's a lot of value in this draft outside of the quarterback position because because there's a lot of like other skill positions. Like, there's a lot of receivers. This draft,
a lot of good linemen. Linderbaum is a great replacement for Kelsey. You have him learn the spot for a year.
I know, but the thing with Linderbaum is there's also a guy that you could get on the defensive line that can be just as effective, but you have to trade up to get him. Like, Jordan Davis is a game record, and that's who you need to have following up. Cox, you can get any center for real. Like, honestly, like, you can work with a center. Like, if you have the other pieces around him, they can get him up to speed. What you do need is a defensive front that can stop some damn body. You got Hargraves. Cox is getting older. You saw that this year. He's getting old, and it's happening quickly. You need to get somebody to shore up that defensive line, and you need a damn linebacker. So, if you could, honestly, even if you
plus
could get
other free agents, we know that you can build through free agency, but again, that's not how this team is going to be built. You can see it already. They want to draft and build.
Yeah, Nakobe Dean is also a good linebacker. He's a stud. Like, there's a lot of stud defensive players and stud skill positions that they need to go after.
Right, absolutely. Adam says, literally call Jeremy Maclin to see what's up. You know, I agree. Goddard stands out when linebackers are against him. I don't want cornerbacks on him. Again, we're good on paper. We just don't have a quarterback that can pass consistently. I agree with all of that. All right. I need to ask a question here, and I'm going to tie into something here. Oh, God. Actually, before we do that, because the next thing is going to be transitioning. Overtime rules. This is the hot topic right here. This is a massive problem, right?
You think so?
I do. Now, we know it is the rules. The rules. We're well aware of that. But you had one of the greatest games in football history. It was one of the greatest offensive games in football history, Sunday night. And you have Josh Allen, who didn't lose them the game. He had a perfect postseason.
Right.
Didn't even get an opportunity to respond.
Listen, I saw this all day today. The only problem is it works when you're the team that gets the ball first.
Sure.
There's a couple. I mean, my thing is that let's say you have one of these epic battles. You're going to end up going into situations where they're going to have to do something like college football. Like, and we all complain about college football now, like how long it takes and how many chances they get. Like, listen, we can't have it both ways. Either you make it quick and painless, or you you draw it out, and people have to like take the phone to their job to watch it. Because the game goes on through all night. We can't do this. Like, you have to decide. You have to piss or get off the pot.
But here's my thing. You decided that game with a coin toss.
Right.
with a 50-50 coin toss. And if you look at the history of the NFL, most of the time when the team wins a coin toss, they win the game. It's the way it is.
For sure.
That's not how a football game in the playoffs should be decided. That's not how that caliber of game should be decided. Now, yes, they had their chances to end it. Again, Javier, I see it. Right? Your number one defense gave up 40-plus yards in less than 13 seconds. I agree. I don't feel bad. But this is my point. Regular season, the rules are fine. In playoffs, just play a full quarter. Just play a full quarter. Then, if you want to go into a second overtime, then you can do this bull crap.
Listen, Chip, I'm okay with all playing the first quarter thing, but we already know what's going to happen. Soon as this happens, guys won't be scoring. To be just like the Steelers. We tie somebody every damn year. We tie somebody because we run out of time in the first quarter. The need still needs to be, if you score, you win. Like, it's like make it take it. It's like last point. It's like deuces. Like all this redemption and all that shit. Like, no. If you want to get the ball, you stop the guy. If you can't stop me, I'm going to score. I'm going to win. Like, I'm not for these participation trophy shit. That's that whole.
And again, I don't think that this is participation trophy. That's not what I'm saying. But there's a participation trophy where it's like everybody gets a turn. And then there is, I flipped a coin and I got to go to the AFC Championship because of it.
No, that only happens for players who can't be stopped. Like for Patrick Mahomes, for Tom Brady, for Josh Allen, some of these guys who get hot, Aaron Rodgers, that's an automatic bid for them. But for another team that doesn't have that type of caliber player, it's a dogfight. Jimmy G gets the ball first. He don't necessarily score and win. Like,
right.
It's a toss-up. So you can't use that because there's too many other factors that go into it. Like, it's just too many. Like, I can't sit here and watch these guys play a whole nother quarter when you had 4 quarters to get it done. You should have got this shit done in the first.
I can watch it.
That shit was nerve-wracking. I didn't have a
play the whole 10 minutes. I like that too. Play the whole 10 minutes no matter what. 10 minutes, that's it.
I can't do it.
You can't leave the game to chance. Coin flip. Go into UFC terms. You don't let the fight go to the judges.
Exactly. That's what he's saying. You knock them out. If you get to a point where you're having to say, okay, if I get this coin flip, I'm basing all this on that. No, like your defense needs to step the hell up. Like they're not getting the ball on the 20-yard line like in college football, and you have to stop them. You getting a whole length of the field.
Don't get me wrong. They should have not kicked the ball deep and given him a home. They should have squibbed it. There was a million things they could have done differently. Those seconds matter. They're also ready, and if we're gonna blame the officials, because I know that's what some people like to do.
Please don't.
Should never have been a touchdown.
Why shouldn't it have been a touchdown?
Because that is a clear, according to 2021, 2022 rules, taunting penalty. That exact play has gotten called back this season.
Okay, so my thing is...
But you're never going to do that in the playoffs.
Well, the question really is, to be completely honest, is if you're the Bills guy that's chasing after him, how do you get beat going across the middle like that?
Oh, it was awful. It was awful.
It was terrible. Anything you show me from this game, from the Bills side of their defense, is a travesty. The defensive players on that team owe the entire game check to Josh Allen.
Yes, they do. And Gabriel Davis. Gabriel Davis.
Yeah. I've never seen that before. That shit was wild.
He hadn't. He said nobody in the history of the NFL have ever caught 4 touchdown passes in a playoff game.
That was nutty. Do you think they planned up for him? They think that was like, oh, Gabriel Davis is gonna go off this game? You think that
they had to figure that they were gonna get Diggs, right? You had to figure they were gonna get Diggs, and when Matthew got knocked out, it changed the entire game plan.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, like listen, dude. Like I'm gonna be real.
You got the people convinced. Javier agrees with you.
Listen, all I'm saying is I don't feel bad for nobody. That you had the whole length of the field. You let a guy score on you in 13 seconds. Like that is, and then one of the plays before that, Tyreek Hill took a punt back like 60-something yards. Like
special teams. We learned that special teams matter.
Don't kick the ball to that guy.
No.
He's like Deion Sanders. You don't kick the ball to him. He's a game changer. Exactly.
Adam says, must be cool to have multiple X Factor wide receivers on a team. Wish we could relate. Yeah, agreed.
Do you think that, okay, so I'm going to throw this out there. This is actually a question about this game as well. Do you honestly believe that Tyreek Hill is not the best receiver in the game?
I think he's the best athlete in the game. I think as far as receivers go, you got to go with a guy like Cooper Kupp, who is a possession receiver.
Okay.
I think you got to go with a guy. I think Cooper Kupp is the best receiver in the game right now. I think game-changing athlete, because it doesn't matter where you put him. Like you put Cooper Kupp back to return. You put Cooper Kupp back to return punts. It's like, okay, you put Cooper Kupp back to return punts. Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, those guys are all great receivers. Tyreek Hill is an incredible game-changing athlete. He can do anything from anywhere. If you put the ball in his hands, you are going to score with him. But he also benefits from a Byron Pringle and a Mecole Hardman.
So I agree with you.
And a Kelsey. Sorry.
Yeah. I agree with all that you're saying.
Same with Deebo Samuel. Yeah, he's in that Tyreek Hill category.
That's what I was going to say. But the thing about when you qualify Deebo Samuel and you qualify Tyreek Hill is that they're the Taysom Hill of receivers, because they will have 5 or 6 carries and then they'll have 15 catches in a particular game. You can line them up in so many different places. It's almost a cheat code. But then there are some games they don't even. You've seen that
before coming out of the running back position, right? Brian Westbrook was not a great running back. He was an incredible athlete. He was a great receiving back. So that's been happening throughout the history of football. It just doesn't work in the quarterback position because the quarterback position requires so much perfection in what you do. That's why Taysom Hill is not successful as a quarterback. He is a jack of all trades and a master of none. Whereas a Deebo Samuel, a Tyreek Hill, you give them the ball, they're going to score.
Right. I'll qualify that with a yes. I'm not going to even argue with that.
Which Johnny said is what we have a quarterback.
Listen, man. I hear y'all, man. Just keep that same energy next year, all right? Remember that. Keep that same energy. So if he comes back different.
I disagree with the squib. It would have knocked a second off the clock because it doesn't start until someone touches it, and they likely would have down and have good field goal position. True. The squib back in the day was more about preventing a return. When you have kickers that can kick it out the back of the end zone, you just do that. You're not wrong.
No, he's not wrong.
And when you saw who was back there, I didn't necessarily disagree with the decision. In hindsight, you realize, it was the wrong decision. Which kind of leads me to now this crossover topic.
Oh, God.
Pro Football expanded their playoffs to 7 teams.
Right.
The 7 teams, the number 7 teams in both the AFC and the NFC this season did not belong in the playoffs. It's my Eagles and your Steelers. They did not belong in the playoffs.
Speak for yourself, guy.
Your Steelers belong in the playoffs?
They got there, man. It's not about.
So did the Eagles. Did they belong there?
Listen,
going into the last game of the season when a tie could have eliminated them, did they belong there?
If a team decided that they didn't want to tie and we got in, and that's their damn fault. Like, that's honestly, we were destined to be there. Like, all I'm saying is all you had to do was tie and we would have been in. Like, we would have been out. So come on, man. Like, there's not better odds than that. So Pro Football expanded their playoffs to the 7s, right? And it gives only the number 1 seed a bye week and home field advantage. Yep, and it was perfect.
Now, I understand that in the AFC it didn't have as much of an effect other than the Titans losing, because the Titans were not a real quality number 1 seed. It was always the Chiefs. It was always the Bengals. I mean, those were all better teams. They got a really good head start with the fact that Derrick Henry was playing as well as he was, and then Tannehill kind of kept them there. The Titans are a quarterback away, by the way. The Titans need to trade for a stud quarterback because Tannehill cannot get it done.
Yeah, and you know what? You can actually say that because he's been in the league for more than since breakfast.
Right. He cannot get it done. You saw it the entire game. But they have a stud running back. They have a stud defense. They have 2 stud wide receivers. They are a quarterback away. That's the Titans. But you look at the number 2 seed on the NFC, the Bucs.
Right.
And you cannot say that the Bucs would not have benefited from the old school rules of the bye week, because in their game against us, they lost Tristan Wirfs. They took unnecessary hits. They had a banged up line, and the defense for the Rams absolutely pummeled Tom Brady all day long. They could have done with the bye week.
Okay, so can I unpack this real quick?
Sure, unpack away.
The only problem with what you're saying is that the number one seeds that they did put would have been the number one seeds no matter what, and they still both lost.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you can't really qualify that. And it was the most exciting. He gave us some of the most exciting weeks of football because of the restructuring of the playoffs each week.
Sure.
So to me, honestly, I'm all for it, dude. Like I'm all for it, and it gives you 7 teams. It gives your team a chance, even when you normally wouldn't have a chance.
But it's a soft 7. So okay, here's where I hit the crossover topic. Ready?
Oh God.
Yeah, you're gonna be mad at me for this.
If you say something about college football and saying why
if you are so okay with expanding pro football to sneak an extra team in, how are you so against college football expanding?
So when you say college football, you're adding multiple teams. You only added 1. And you took away.
But it was a team that was not of the same caliber, and that's always been your big argument. When you're adding these extra teams in college football, they are not of the same caliber.
There's a difference because a college football team, because you're trying to sneak in Boise State or a bumfuck Egypt University.
You snuck in a bumfuck Eagles and a bumfuck Steelers.
Listen, historical with great fan bases. It's money related. So it's money related. But
you're telling me that Notre Dame doesn't have a great fan base?
They always get in though with the regular.
Not in the college football playoffs.
They gotten in like 3 or 4 times. They just haven't won.
All right.
Same thing with Oregon. They've gotten in. They just haven't won. Same thing with my Clemson Tigers. We've gotten in. We just haven't won every time.
Again, I'm just saying, how can you be so for one and so against the other?
Because one is everybody's on the same level in the NFL, period. Like they're all professional. When you go to college football, and yeah, exactly. You can't.
Whoever's commenting from the AATSports Network, just adding anything, get rid of the bye. Yeah, well, you saw what bye weeks did. Matt's saying college programs are further apart than NFL teams, which is your point.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Exactly. So if you go play, if let's say Alabama goes and plays Northwestern, let's say Northwestern sneaks in there. Alabama's athletes alone are bigger caliber. Like you can look at the offensive and defensive line and tell that these guys are not matched. This has never worked down in college because there's such a big gap. In the pros, everybody's a pro, and you never know. It's any given Sunday for a reason. It's not any given Saturday.
No, college football is a higher chance for an upset than the NFL.
Listen, there has never been the saying any given Saturday. The saying is any given Sunday.
This past weekend should have been any given Saturday. Because both number 1 teams went down.
Dude, that's because they're playing playoffs. They're playing playoffs.
Playoffs. I'm just saying, I'm being difficult for you now.
That's what I'm saying, but they're not saying that about college. College is pretty much set in stone for the entire season. We know this. We already know in week 4 or 5 who's going to be in national championship for the most part. Barring any real like upsets, we all knew Alabama was going to be there. We all knew Georgia was going to be there at the end. Like I just had this conversation with my brother. Like, barring some type of weird thing, we always knew they were going to be there. You always kind of know Ohio State's going to be around. You always kind of
knew that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be there. So why even play the playoffs?
Exactly. Kind of. But they did go through a losing streak as well. It's
True.
Any given Sunday. I'm telling you. That's why Miami Dolphins beat people from time to time. Or like you have Jacksonville knocking off the Colts and that bum guy that's out there in Indianapolis and taking them out of the playoffs. So there's any given Sunday, or a team decides not to tie and both of them don't get in. Like that's any given Sunday. Like, come on, man. There's so much shit that goes into this stuff. Like college isn't like that. They already know. The Lions beating the Packers. We can continue to go on to make this argument a little better for myself, but I don't want to, it's not a mistake. Expanding it is more exciting.
Expanding the playoffs, though, and see if they can handle tough talent for 3 straight weeks. Getting a team's best shot in an extended playoff situation.
For college or NFL?
For college.
Dude, you're not getting a tough team every week, though. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Is Alabama, if they're the number 1 seed, they're playing the number, 20 seed?
But you're getting a team's best shot.
You get your team's best shot every week when you play against Alabama. They get everybody's best shot. Clemson gets everybody's best shot. Georgia gets everybody's best shot. Ohio State gets everybody's best shot. They just miss. Like, what do you want?
They just miss.
They just miss. Like, You know how many teams circle Alabama and Clemson and Georgia and Ohio State and Michigan on their calendar, and they still can't beat them week to week?
So why not go to a 6-team?
You
Why not
don't need to. There's been no need to. The 4 seed gets demolished every year. The 3 to 2 seeds gets demolished. Like it's not funny. It really the only time that the 4 seed has actually beat the 1 seed is when.
So then why expand to a 7-team playoff in the pros when the 7 teams get smacked every year?
Because it's only the first year of trying it. And we know that it's going to get better because a lot of teams got injured.
Second year doing it.
How did the last year?
What's that?
How did the last year go before this year?
Smacking around. Smacking around.
Who got smacked around?
Whoever the 7 teams was. Because remember, Washington was the 6 seed or the 4 seed.
Hold on, let me.
The 7 seeds get whacked. So hold on, we're looking up the 2021 playoffs.
You got to give me control so I can hit some of these comments.
What do you want to say?
I want to see if Georgia will add a Mac. If Georgia had to play Bama, OK State, Ole Miss, and Bama again in the playoffs, I bet they drop one. I don't think so, man. I mean, honestly, I really don't, because you got to think about if everybody's playing the same games, you don't know how much injury is going to happen, how much saturation is going to really happen with these teams. OK State wasn't that good this year. Ole Miss lost Matt Corral. So, like, if that was the same way, he'd be hurt the first week of the playoffs. And then nobody has any interest in watching the damn toilet bowl where you got guys that really don't deserve to be out there, who can't really walk and chew bubble gum, playing against guys who are going to play on Sunday. Like, that's not really
ready?
Cool.
Here you go. Last season.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Last season, they switched it to the 7s.
All right, let's hear it.
In the AFC, it was Buffalo and Indianapolis. Buffalo won 27-24. So that was a close game. But and then Cleveland was the 6 seed, and they beat up on Pittsburgh a little bit, 48-37. So there's your 6 and 3, and finally weird matchups.
Okay.
But in the NFC, 21-9, New Orleans over Chicago.
21-9 isn't that bad. I mean, it looks like that sounds like a defensive struggle to me.
I'm trying to see what the Bears' record was last season, though.
The Bears. Don't you love
They were 8-8. Why is an 8-8 team in the playoffs?
That's the winning record, technically. Now, if you get to under 500, okay, cool. Like, you got a point. It depends on the leagues for real too, because the AFC North is always a crapshoot, just like the AFC East or the NFC East. It's always a crapshoot.
Indy last season was 11-5 as a 7 seed.
What were they this year? That's the better question, because they didn't get in the playoffs this year.
Yes, they did.
The Colts?
Carson. Oh, no, I'm sorry. He sucked right before, then they never got in. Yep. My fault.
He stunk it up.
He was hysterical.
No, that shit was the funniest shit ever. But you got people sitting there pissed off about Jalen Hurts, who got you to the playoffs. That's craziness. It's wild, man.
Colts finished at 9-8.
So they had a worse. So they had a worse season this year.
Yep.
With Carson Wentz, who's supposed to be the savior of all saviors, and
both 7 seeds lost. Colts didn't get smacked. Bears got smacked. So there's never been a 7 upset of 2 since they switched to this thing. Okay. And this season, there was 2 blowouts. That's all I'm saying. I don't understand how I struggle with how you can say don't expand college, but expand pros. I'm struggling
because you never heard that saying, like you all watch the movie A's in the Outfield. Mm-hmm. You know the little black kid that says it could happen.
It could happen.
That's how I feel you are with college. I am not that way with college. So there's such a differential.
I am that way with college for sure.
You love it because you love it. You love the purity of the game. Well,
I love the chaos.
There's just not enough chaos in college football, dude. There's just not enough. We know at week 1, week 2, like right now, we can look at the preseason rankings and they won't be far off when the season's over. You
know what it is? So you're an SEC guy, you're an ACC guy, you're a down south guy, you know what I mean? So the results that happen are the results that are expected. I'm a Penn State guy. I know one time per season, they're going to lose to a team that they have no business losing to.
And then they're going to lose to a team that they're supposed to lose to. Yes.
And then they're going to lose to it, and they're going to knock themselves out. I expect that chaos all throughout the country year round. That's what it is.
Oh, I feel you. Because you know what's crazy is? But when you get back to where you were with Joe Pa, in the olden days where you don't lose any games, you won't want that chaos because that won't be your reality. My whole life was turned around this year. Clemson is never losing 3 or 4 games in the recent. But I'm not mad about it. You know what? We took our lumps. We didn't deserve to be in it. We'll be back next year. We got a quarterback coming in. We're good. DJ will be moving back out to Cali soon. I'm sure that I'm trying to load the truck up and get a shit back out to Cali before the end of the week because Cade is in town. He's already in practice, and they say he's throwing phenomenally. So, DJ's going to be looking for a new home, buddy.
All right.
You guys want him at Penn State or no? No? You guys don't want him? You sure?
No, I'm good.
Big Samoan dude?
I don't want the coach right now. Let's just put it that way.
I love James Franklin.
Okay. Hard turn for our final major sports topic of the night.
Let's do it.
Is it time for Doc Rivers to go?
Oh, yeah. I'm excited for this shit.
I'm going to play a little something for those of you that don't know.
Play it.
For those of you that did not catch this,
play it.
I'm going to play this.
I'm
pretty sure the audio is on, so we're going to find out. If it's not, I'll fix it right quick.
Play it.
What part of this loss would you attribute to coaching?
I don't know. Would you ask Pop that question? No, you wouldn't. So don't ask me that question. I've earned that.
I've earned that.
I thought he said never again.
Don't ask me that question. Would you ask Pop that question? I've earned that.
You've earned what?
The respect of how much was the loss blame on coaching. When Doc Rivers was asked how much of a 24-point blown lead was on coaching.
Okay. All right. We need to make sure that he's saying I earned that and not don't ask me that again. Because I'm pretty sure he says don't ask me that again.
All right. He did say that, but I'm going to put it back up. So again, the question was for Johnny, who's asking, how much of blowing a 24-point lead was on coaching?
They should have led with that.
Oh, no.
Let me back it up. Hang on. Here we go.
What part of this loss would you attribute to coaching?
I don't know. Would you ask Pop that question? No, you wouldn't. So don't ask me that question. I've earned that.
All right. There's a lot to unpack here. First of all, he's comparing himself with he's comparing himself to Popovich.
Let's start with that.
Dude, that dude can't hold Popovich's clipboard, nonetheless hold his jockstrap.
He can't hold the man's comb.
He can't hold that man. He can't hold his pen. Hey man, hold his pen for me. Hey man, hold my water. Man,
do you know how many letters I have to write every time I sign my name? You can't hold my pen.
Listen, Popovich is legitimately a GOAT. Like, there's only a couple coaches better than him in the entire NBA that have ever done it.
In the entire history of the NBA.
Dude, Pop can literally walk into any team right now and get a handshake from every single player.
Don't blow a 24-point lead if you don't like the question.
Listen, I'm gonna let you go first, but I gotta dig in his ass for like at least 15 minutes because I got a lot to unpack about this whole franchise.
When Doc was out with COVID, you saw a team re-energized and playing for an assistant coach.
Sam Cassell.
It wasn't Sam Cassell. It was who was the assistant coach that night?
I know who it was, but Sam Cassell is the heart of that team, period.
He's the heart of that team, yes. Who's the Sixers assistant coach? Dan Burke. Dan Burke was the one that they played for. Now, I know Sam Cassell, and he deserves to be a head coach somewhere for sure. But they played for Dan Burke. You had a team play for the assistant coach, which is fine.
Right.
Doc has shown time and time again an inability to make adjustments, an inability to keep a foot on the gas. The lineups are wrong. The game plans are wrong. And then for you to go out there and try to be bigger than your superstar player, like Joel Embiid is the Philadelphia 76ers right now. If you are the head coach, you are doing everything in your power to keep him happy, to keep him healthy, and to surround him with superstar talent. Instead, you keep trotting out Danny Green. You keep trotting out Furkan, who's doing okay. You keep I mean, at one point, you have Andre Drummond and Joel Embiid on the court at the same time. Andre Drummond, his only job is to give Joel Embiid rest. What are you? And you have the audacity, you have the gall to go. Would you ask Pop that question? No, because Pop wouldn't blow a 24-point lead and then sit there and go, why are you asking me that question? He would sit there and go, you know what? That was on me. I screwed up, which is why he has the players' respect. He's had every player's respect that he has ever coached. Doc Rivers cannot say the same. He has been through 3 organizations at this point. Pop has not. I have a massive problem with a head coach thinking that he is bigger than a team. That's my thing.
Ooh, that was spicy, man. I'm
a little heated.
I'm actually proud of you. I'm proud of you. Just know that inside up in here, I'm proud of you because
Thank you.
That was good. It's gonna be hard to follow it up, but I got a lot to unpack here, so I'm excited. I'm gonna lay down on the couch and I'm gonna just talk to you guys about this. Lay back a little bit. So first of all, number one, it needs to be said that Doc hasn't earned any respect.
None.
He's got 1 championship, and the other 2 championships he was supposed to win, he completely shit the bed. The Clippers.
And why did he win that championship? Who was on that Celtics roster?
Kevin Garnett,
Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, 3 of the greatest players in NBA history. So I don't want to hear all
Rondo,
hit the
playoff
distribute
Rondo,
the ball.
playoff Rondo,
Playoff Rondo.
It's to me, it's a lot. It's just a lot because he's supposed to, when he got here, he was supposed to be the guy to bring this team back after Brett Brown, and I don't think he's done that.
He was supposed to be the professional coach. Yep.
Right. He was supposed to be the professional because we had the amateur guy before. Secondly, to unpack this thing is we've watched him shit the bed while he's been here. No, not making adjustments, not putting in personnel correctly, trying to play Shake Milton for whatever reason. Does Doc have another daughter that we don't know about that he's trying to hook up with Shake Milton? So he's
I don't know.
Because I think that's the type of son-in-law thing. Like, your son-in-law is a fuck up, but you keep putting them out there because your daughter's gonna bitch at you if you don't play him. Like, I feel like at the end of the day, like, he's got some weird thing with Shake Milton. Shake Milton can't play against the School of Deaf and Blind and score 14 points. Tobias, in the words of Big T Will, Tobias is allergic to 30. He can't give you 30 on any given night. We're paying him millions and millions.
Keep rolling him out.
Millions and millions of dollars. Doc was supposed to bring him back to life because he played so great for him in the Clippers when the Clippers had like a damn near skeleton squad with Lou
I would have
Will.
kept Boban.
Listen, there has been so many things that have been mishandled by this franchise in the last 3 years since I've even lived here. I've been a fan since the 2000s, but since the early 2000s, since the first run with AI. It's disheartening to think that this guy was supposed to be the guy that was going to come here and make it better. He's done nothing but give us empty promises. Him and punk ass Daryl Morey. Let me be honest about that as well. Daryl Morey has got people confused. Like, there's a certain level of like this media base who thinks that Daryl Morey is this blockbuster guy who makes blockbuster trades. Well, funny story. All the blockbuster trades that he has made have yielded no success. They have yielded no championship. They've yielded nothing but more. Oh, well, we almost was there. We almost made it. We should have done this. We should have done that. Getting Russell Westbrook and getting Chris Paul and them on the same team with James Harden did absolutely nothing. Getting a bunch of big name guys on the team does not mean you're going to win a championship. It just means you got a bunch of guys you got to pay who can't produce. Chris Paul, I think, is one of the best point guards of all time. Of all time. And that didn't work out for you. You know what I'm saying? And you got rid of him. So I'm with Matt. I never have been a big fan of Daryl Morey because I don't believe anything. Only thing that he's done for us, I guess, so far to point it out is that he got rid of Al Horford's shitty contract that we were in.
And Josh Richardson.
Yeah, I mean, that was cool. He got Seth Curry, but I think that was more of a Doc thing than a Morey thing. I think Doc wanted his son-in-law to play here. To be honest, I don't really think he's done much more than Elton Brand did. Like, to be real, like, at least Elton Brand got Kawhi here. I mean, come on. I mean, not Kawhi, he got Jimmy Butler here. So, I mean, what are we really praising Daryl Morey for doing? What blockbuster guy has he brought here that we didn't already have?
And I like the fact that Daryl Morey hasn't, he's stuck to his guns. And if Ben Simmons is just going to rot, then he's going to rot if he doesn't get the deal that he wants. I respect him on that. He knows he's got an asset.
He doesn't. Because the longer and I'm only saying this from a basketball perspective. The longer that Ben Simmons sits, the lower his value drops for both sides.
For sure.
So if you want to play this cat and mouse game where you're saying, well, we're not going to give him up till we get the trade that we want for him, you might not ever get it because
you're not ever going to get it. And he said he's fine with him sitting on the bench all season.
Yeah, but it's not just this season. Like his value is dropping on the daily.
But my problem is the fact that this season you have got a guy in Joel Embiid. Now here's a guy who is the MVP of the league. You look at his last 20 games, no one is even close to his numbers. You look at the last 20, you look at the last season, no one is close to his contribution. It is absurd.
Right.
And you are surrounding him with nobody.
Clown.
You're saying to him, hey, go out and single-handedly win your team a championship. And that might work as a regular season championship, but it will not work in the playoffs. You saw that last season. You saw what teams do when it came to the playoffs and how they shut down Joel Embiid.
And it's not, what's crazy is, and I'm gonna say this, and I want it to be heard very clearly. The masses who have grown to say we don't want Ben Simmons, screw Ben Simmons, we don't need him. You're an idiot, and you don't know basketball.
You need someone.
You need somebody, and right now you don't have him either. So, and you see how well that's working. Last year you won the East. You won the East. You were number one seed in the East. This year you'd be lucky to end up in fourth where you are now. You'd be lucky. You may not make the playoffs after all these teams start getting healthy again and getting back pushing. I just don't believe in the fact that this Morey guy. I know everybody does. I mean, he makes these blockbuster trades. But they never yield anything. Like
right now, the Sixers are number 6 in the East.
That's terrible.
And they're 27-19, and they're exclusively because Joel Embiid has led them there. But you've got a Hornets team that's getting hot and they're young. You've got a Celtics team that's at 500 at 8. And then you've got teams like the Raptors who aren't going to make any moves. You got the Wizards who still have Bradley Beal. They could easily pick up a couple games. You got teams like the Knicks who are trading for players like Cam Reddish. They're going to pick up some players. They're going to pick up some wins. But you're behind the Cavaliers right now.
No, they traded up Cam Reddish?
Cam Reddish is a Knick now.
So he's back with Barrett, JT Barrett.
Yeah, and Julius Randle.
Oh, Julius Randle's trash. He's trash.
I hear you, but again, you talk about players who are a part of a core of something. That Knicks team has something to build on. If Joel Embiid has an off night, the Sixers will not win.
That's why I think I said the other day. I was like, Joel is having to put up astronomical numbers for us to be competitive.
The same way, here you go, flashing back to 2001, a certain Allen Iverson did to carry his team to the finals.
It won't be done. Like in this day and age, that won't be done.
It can't be done. We're in a superstar generation now.
There's too many other good teams. And honestly, there's so many teams like the Lakers. Maybe not as good as the Lakers, but there's several teams that are like that 2001 Lakers team. They got dudes everywhere. Like, you mean they don't have a Kobe and Shaq, two dominant presences, but
no, but you look at a team like the Heat. The Heat got significantly better by adding Lowry, and they already had Jimmy Butler.
Oh yeah,
and they're the number 1 seed. The Nets at number 2 are going to have the healthiest Kyrie Irving they have ever had, because at some point they're going to ease up on the restrictions, and he's going to be allowed to play all the games. And they're already in the 2 spot with him only playing away games.
And there's this narrative out here that Daryl Morey is waiting to trade for James Harden. Like that he's waiting
James
to
Harden
trade.
Coming here.
Listen, I don't. What makes you think that they're not going to win a championship? And he's not going to want to ride the wave. Like people, once you get one, you get championship hunger. We've all seen it. We've all seen these guys who said, "Well, I'll never play." Hell, Jordan stayed in a shitty situation with the Chicago Bulls where they were trying to tear the team apart for 3 years just because they kept winning. They literally had to stop. They just had to say, "You know what? I'm retiring. I'm done." to make the whole team break up. Because even though they hated each other, apparently now, they still rather win than play with guys they like.
You just have to go out and get somebody for Joel Embiid. And I can tell you that right now, I do not trust Doc Rivers to be the head coach of this team.
Doc Rivers couldn't coach my little league 4 and under basketball team right now. We're undefeated, by the way.
Oh, that's good. Good stuff. Good job. Proud of you. All right.
Maybe.
Final topic. Just straight up shenanigans. I'm choosing violence tonight.
Who you got violence against?
You know me, I've been working on my fitness, right? So I'm going to put something up on the screen. And you're like me, you're a fat kid at heart.
Damn it. What are you doing?
You can only choose one, the rest are destroyed forever.
Well, I'm going to have a lot of these I'm going to take off.
All right, so let's do that. Let's start off. Let's eliminate the ones that we know can go.
Well, I don't know what a boost bar is, so I'm taking
me either. It doesn't sound good. That thing's gone.
Anything with peanut butter for me has to go because I'm allergic, so I would die if I.
That's not as much fun for me.
Let me rule mine out then. Let me get all the peanuts. Snickers, Boost is gone. Almond Joy. If you got the ones without the peanuts, the almonds, I'm good. I'll leave that. Baby Ruth is out. Butterfingers out. Mr. Good Bar is technically access peanuts. Reese's is out, and the peanut butter M&Ms and Payday. But
so those are all gone.
But I got a lot of good ones left. I got Musketeer Crunch, Milky Way, Twix, Kit Kat, and Hershey. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm a caramel guy, so if it doesn't have caramel, they're out. So it only leaves me 2: Twix and Milky Way. I'm gonna be honest about this whole pick. If I got to choose one for the rest of my life, I'm going with the Twix, man. The left and right Twix.
So it's definitely, that was one of mine for me. Matt saying Butterfinger is the one that I got. Matt, I love you, man, but that's not it for me.
He's a Bart Simpson guy, so you can tell.
I love chocolate. I love candy bars, right? So I look at this and I go, all right, Snickers, that's going to stay in for now. But I can chuck Almond Joy, Boost, Baby Ruth, Three Musketeers, Butterfinger. I keep a Crunch Bar, but it's not going to. For me, it's between Kit Kat and Twix.
That's a good one, man. That doesn't have peanuts in it, so you were right where I was.
And for me, it's Kit Kat, man.
It's not bad.
Kit Kat for me is the one that I would that would be it for me.
I mean, you don't really. I mean, honestly, like when you go to the store, how many other candies are you really trying? Like, I'm really only getting my go-to. I'm always
for sure.
I'm always getting the Twix and then walking out of the Wawa. That's what I'm doing. I'm getting that and an energy drink, and that's my breakfast of champions. So yeah, I'm there, and then the rest of those can go to hell. Like I don't need them. They can all be melted down into more chocolate for my Twix.
Yeah, I totally agree. And the other thing I was trying to pull up just to enjoy as we end of the show.
Matt said left or right. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I'm a left-handed, so
I'm a basketball lefty, so I'm gonna go with lefty. Everything else I'm a righty, but basketball I'm a lefty. It was by design.
The only other thing I was going to do is I was going to pull up a collection of Aaron Rodgers memes.
Oh, please, can you please do that?
I can't find them. I have them saved, but I can't find them. Yo, those were vicious.
Damn you.
We'll do that next week. We'll do a collection of Aaron Rodgers memes.
You got me all hyped up. I'm like, my blood pressure is boiling right now. Like I'm ready to talk about some Aaron Rodgers. But I do have a hot take real quick. Can I tell my
what you got? Wait, hold on. Just because I want to play around with stuff, you can do your hot take, but I'm going to play some lo-fi music. So I try. So it's a hot take with some chill music. Here you go.
Oh God.
I don't give me a hot take.
I'm just gonna do it. All right, guys. So number one, this needs to be said. I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I'm in remission. I just want to let it be known. All right, I'm in remission as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I've heard multiple rumors that Aaron Rodgers has been in contact with TJ Watt and Mike Tomlin. All right. What I'm guessing is that Juju Smith-Schuster will be traded to the Packers for Devontae Adams and a sign and trade deal, and we will end up with Aaron Rodgers as well. And going into the next season, we'll have Claypool, Adams, Najee Harris, Devontae Johnson, and James Washington, and we'll be back like we left something.
You think that old ass Aaron Rodgers is going to go from cold ass Green Bay to cold ass Pittsburgh?
Yeah, because there's a couple different reasons why. First of all, Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season. He clearly is a good coach, and he's had no quarterback to speak of for the last 5 years, and he still made up at a winning season. You add Aaron Rodgers to that mix with the receivers that the Pittsburgh Steelers have. We have draft capital, and we're probably going to pick up Matt Corral in the draft, but he's going to be hurt, so he's going to need about a year to get himself back. Oh my God, you got one up.
I found some. So every corner of Twitter coming to dunk on Aaron Rodgers. It's the Avengers. I love it.
Dude,
the only thing Aaron Rodgers hates more than science is playing against the 49ers.
Oh, man. These are brutal.
Nick Bosa sacking Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers playoff run thwarted by snowflakes. Cancel culture strikes again. Everyone stop making fun of Aaron Rodgers. He hates being needled. How Fauci's looking at Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, God.
I guess Aaron Rodgers also got immunized against winning in the postseason.
That's rough.
Aaron Rodgers delivering on the Super Bowl boycott promise.
I mean, he's not wrong, though.
Even Dick Butkus. Maybe it's me, but it almost seemed like Aaron Rodgers was distracted last night, like someone was in his head.
I'm just saying, like, they own him. They should, they should.
Once again, we all mistakenly believed Aaron Rodgers had a shot.
Damn.
That's all the ones I found right there.
So what's the joke about the snowflakes? Like, because it started snowing in Green Bay?
It was snowing, and that's what you call liberals.
Oh, you're messed up. You're a messed up individual. And we can all blame Shailene Woodley for his play this year. We can all blame her. They got into, apparently, from some of the reports I've read, they were in an argument, and they're on the outs. And that's why you don't see her at the games and stuff. They show all the, the fans' girlfriends. Like, they love showing Giselle Bouchin, or whatever you say her last name. But Giselle Brady. They always show her. And, they show Patrick Mahomes' crazy-ass fiance who's pouring champagne on people and it's freezing outside.
I hate it.
As if
I need the Bengals to win just because of that. All right, wait. Okay. One more thing I got, and this will be the last thing I do, only because of the conversation we just had.
Please. I'm excited.
I ain't a magician, but I got a couple tricks up my sleeves.
Oh, God, that is terrible. I love it. You're going to give me a stomach ulcer. I love it. Oh, God.
So this has been the latest edition of Chip and Drip.
This made up for last week.
What's that? Yeah, this is the makeup for last week. We went a little extra and we had a couple laughs. We're going to continue with the shenanigans. We're going to continue being hype about things. We're going to have conference championship football this weekend to chat about. Who's your 2 early predictions? Only Monday.
Believe it or not, man, I'm going to take the 49ers and I'm going to take the Bengals because I want some new blood in the championship.
You're going straight underdoggy.
Straight. I mean, that's been the recipe all year in the playoffs. So I'm taking all underdogs, man.
Well, I'm going Rams Chiefs. So there you go.
Oh, you can take all the low hanging fruit. Okay, got it.
Yeah, the low hanging fruit. I don't think anyone stops the Rams this season.
I don't know, man. It's just because there's just so many games that I saw them get stopped this year, so I can really say for a fact that like they can be stopped. And I just think that the 49ers are playing so like they've made.
When I do my pick show with the wife later on, who by the way kicked my ass this week. She went 3-1. I went 1-3.
I'm going to tune into that. What day is that? Wednesday?
Usually we do Wednesday. Yeah, we've been dancing around a little bit, but we can probably go do Wednesday. It's only gonna be a 20-minute show because there's 2 games.
There's always commentary there.
Yeah. So
Where you watching the game?
Probably in my house. Probably at mi casa. On my cold, non-covered floors.
I mean, as long as your furniture didn't get messed up, that's all you really need. Somewhere to sit
Some of
down.
it did. Some of it did. Yeah, we ran over some of like the numbers. It's like $20,000 worth of stuff got hit. That's before the floors and the walls. So we're in good shape.
As long as homeowners kicks in, you know what I'm saying?
We're working through it. What's going on the D-Drippy Network this week?
It's gonna be a more of a quiet. Tomorrow we have we're starting our Marvel series where we're gonna cover Marvels and DC stuff because like we're super geeks. So we have our own show starting. It's a mini short series. We're recording the whole thing tomorrow. Then also tomorrow we have our U3 show, guys. If you have nothing to do on Tuesday evening, please tune in for the freaking U3 show. We have a ball. It's with me, my brother, our friend CJ. Dude, it's a fun. I gotta eat a ghost pepper tomorrow. I finally got one in stock, so I gotta eat it. I'll probably die tomorrow, so you might need to find somebody else to run the show. It might be chips and fried drip from going forward.
So. Everybody on the bus.
Yeah, everybody get on the list. So we might be doing that, and then this, of course, on Thursday we got our show Straight Shooting with JD and Carm. Carm is back, so we're back rolling, turning and burning.
I love it. Tuesday tomorrow night we got the Burning Bridges show. Make sure you want to check that one out. Wednesday night we are doing our Eagles weekly report, but it is the Eagles season recap. So we're going to give our Eagles awards.
That's not fun.
I'm gonna talk a lot of trash. I'm gonna be really honest. I was told I'm not allowed to say most disappointing is Jalen Reagor. I was told, even though the answer is and only is Jalen Reagor.
You just gave him the award, basically, for the most part.
No, he was the recipient of the reward.
Like you've already given this one. Okay, sorry.
I was told I was not allowed to, so I had to pick a secondary one. But what they don't know is I'm still going to say Jalen Reagor over and over again. Moving on. We got a new draft show on the network called Draft Vibes. That's going to be picking up as we get closer and closer to the draft. We have Birds, Beers, and BS. We have the weekly pickoff with the wife. That's coming up on the roundup pretty soon. But, of course, that's going to lead into the March Madness weekly pickoff where she destroys me in the bracket challenge. So that's always going to be fun. She kicks my ass every year.
I would like to throw my name in the hat for the March Madness.
Yeah, I'm in.
If that's possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what's up. And then we'll be back on Monday night to talk all things sports. Again, great sponsor, Statement Games, fun free twist on fantasy sports. Make sure you're checking it out. AATSportsNetwork.com/shop. Symbol.com, the stock market for sports. Use the code AATSports when you sign up. La Terrain Luxury Watches. Use the code AATBirds to check out for 10% off. Funkbrewing.com. And, of course,
your balls will thank you.
At manscaped.com, use the code AATBirds for 20% off and free shipping at checkout. We're about to roll out the new commercial. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been really fun. I'm Chip, Drip, and we'll catch you on the Flippity Flip. Here's a commercial about your testicles and Valentine's Day.
Your balls will thank you.
Your balls will thank you. Roses are red. Violets are blue. Don't let a wild pube wreck you. Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and our sponsors at Manscaped are here for you with the best tools to get your balls ready for this special occasion. This V-Day, it's time to join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped, the leaders in below-the-waist grooming, with our exclusive offer. Go to manscaped.com and use the code AATBirds for 20% off and free shipping. The holidays went by so quickly. Did you remember to take care of your package with the best tools for the job? The Performance Package 4.0 from Manscaped is just the thing every guy needs in their life to make each and every day just a little more special. The number one product in this package is the Lawnmower 4.0. This electric trimmer is designed to trim hair on loose skin. And get this, the trimmer's advanced skin-safe technology reduces cuts and nicks on your delicate balls. It even has a 4000K LED spotlight so you can shave anywhere your heart desires. Did I mention that it's waterproof too? I'd like to propose making February 13th a national holiday as National Shave Your Balls Day. Who's with me? I think this is one holiday that men and women can get behind. This package also includes the Weed Whacker, nose and ear hair trimmer to whack all the worst of your weeds. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts, their shed travel bag and anti-chafing boxer brief to keep your boys stored comfortably. To complete the perfect package for your package are liquid formulations like Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and Crop Reviver Ball Toner. Start your day off with a deodorant for your boys, and then stay cool all day with toner to keep you feeling your best all day and night. These formulations will also have your balls smelling like a king on your big day. And don't forget to smell good not only around your balls but all over. Made with their signature scent, the Manscaped Refined Cologne will complement your collection with smell perfection. Manscaped created their products for a night just like this and will make your V-Day dates say, wow, great set of balls you have there. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code AATBirds at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code AATBirds. Join Cupid and shoot your arrow with Manscaped this Valentine's Day. Your balls and lady will thank you.